Now, the Wisconsin governor's race saw a major plot twist last night when in the early hours it was reported that 5 USB sticks with election data had actually just had the audit log on there and not the actual results. And this threw a big monkey wrench in the reporting. And interestingly enough, it came when there was just a small lead for the Wisconsin governor's candidate, David Crowley, over his DSA-aligned rival candidate. That would be Francesca Hong. And this came down to a horse race. They were neck and neck, but these polling results that came in the early mornings were enough to tilt the race to the establishment candidate. Before we get into this story, please like, share, and comment at the Becker Brief. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, Francesca Hong had been on the radar for weeks and weeks due to her many kooky comments. She had drawn attention for her discussion about growing up in proximity to whiteness and having a child who was part white. She had, in fact, been married to a white guy, so you would think that she would not be pushing a lot of talk about the white supremacy and the structural racism that is going on in this country. After all, she was a prominent Democratic politician, and it's becoming very ironic to see people of color, as they call it, in positions of power complain about how biased the American system is against them. It is becoming very glaring since we had a president of the United States who was black and a vice president who was part black, part Indian, and she, ran for office and came within a shouting distance of the presidency, but unfortunately President Donald Trump, he was able to prevail against the left-wing radical. And so this talk of structural racism, it is tired, and a lot of people are growing weary with the DSA narrative. And so Francesca Hong, she lost in this race, and it was reported on many major news sites that there was a USB incident where 5 of the 9 election data reporting USB drives were indeed missing election data. They had to go back and get that election data, put it back on the thumb drives, of course, with a police escort. That's supposed to make us feel a lot better. And it was chalked up to human error.
So again, I'm George Christensen, Milwaukee County Clerk. Just wanted to provide an important update to the status of this election. In the process of uploading the results from the City of Milwaukee, we encountered some issues. So we brought in City of Milwaukee Elections Director Paulina Gutierrez, and she identified the issue and is going to explain what the issue is and how we're going to proceed.
Okay, thank you. All right, so as part of the download process, there are 2 things. There's the audit log and the results. What we uncovered was that 5 of the sticks had the audit log downloaded and not the results. It's a human error. These things can happen. So basically what we need to do is go back to the operations center, and we're going to download out of those 5 machines the results and make sure that it's not the audit log. So we have the reports printed from the first download. We're going to reprint and start the process so that we can compare those results. We invite you to come join us. Milwaukee Police Department will come with us too. And so we'll re-download those results and then send them back here to be uploaded.
5 machines are at issue?
Correct. Not the machines, the sticks. So the download process was the audit log was downloaded, not the results.
Out of how many sticks?
9.
And so you will only be redoing those 5 sticks?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
But we can't know all of the results, and we can't see these 4 sticks worth of results that were done correctly.
I think, can you? Are the 4
We're
up?
aware of it. Yeah, I don't know if we can upload them. I mean, they've been uploaded. I think the number was 11,000, roughly 11,000 ballots came off of those sticks, correct?
Of the 4?
Of the 4.
Yes, yeah, and it's about
There's about 15,000 ballots remaining based on our report.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we need about 15,000 more ballots to come in from the absentees from the city of Milwaukee.
Correct.
Give us a sense of what ward those are?
I have them in here, but it's a long list.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
So as Elections Director Gutierrez said, they'll be going back to the City of Milwaukee's Op Center to do this, and then they will take care of that, and then they'll come back here again and deliver those sticks just like they just did, okay? So as she indicated, everyone's welcome to go with them and observe. We'll stay open, of course, and when they come back here, we'll be here.
But these election results in Milwaukee County, they're tabulated via voting machines, and their paper ballots are scanned and then tabulated. So there is a chance of human error in all of this, of course, with any election system. But there are a lot of election systems around the world that do all paper ballots, and they're hand counted, and the results are delivered within hours. And there are no late night election surprises one way or the other. And this is just yet another case of the elections in the United States being highly flawed and questionable. We need to see all paper ballots, voter IDs, just like the standard in a lot of countries around the world now. We have 176 nations have some form of voter IDs. That's because it's common sense, and 83% of the American public agrees with that. And when it comes to paper ballots, now, they have improved the situation, but there are still flaws with ballot marking devices, and you have to audit those very carefully. And in a lot of cases, those aren't triggered unless there's a very tight race. So we need to really standardize our elections. And so it's a bit of a mystery why the Senate is now in recess, and we have a lot of senators who are dropping the ball here. The chance to pass the Save America Act by having a talking filibuster where you'd have the 50 senators, well, hopefully Mitch McConnell or his replacement shows up, plus Senate President, Vice President J.D. Vance casting the deciding vote. So that would be something that would push forward the election integrity agenda. And so the Trump administration has had to implement some backup measures, such as tracking mail-in ballots with the U.S. Postal Service. So now we see a rogue judge named Indira Talwani out of Boston once again interfere and attempt to block the Trump administration from implementing these ballot tracking rules that the post office is expected to put into official place. But it looks like they're playing a waiting game there. And the Supreme Court, they are weighing whether or not to strike down the injunctions. And of course, they had already been on the record against nationwide injunctions that were being abused by rogue justices like the Obama-appointed Indira Talwani. So once again, we're seeing our election systems fail us in the sense that we don't have a lot of confidence that when there are late night drops of thousands of ballots and the Democratic establishment candidate is once again selected over a candidate who is aligned with the DSA and has a likely chance of being defeated in the upcoming Wisconsin governor's race. Well, you have to wonder if there's more to the story and what's going on behind the scenes.
Okay. Wow. What the heck just came in Brown? Which was that that was huge for her.
Yeah, so that was about 18,000 votes, and she nets 2,000.
Question. Was that that wasn't central count, was it?
It's possible. There's no remaining vote in Brown according to our counter. I'll check the website.
I said I want percent more, but now I do, because if that was central count, what was his percentage of that vote?
Let's take a look.
If this was central count, this is the question we're getting at from Milwaukee. If he just got buried in central count Green Bay,
it was 44-34. Hong over Crowley.
Okay, yeah, can we ask our decision desk what we think that was that just,
yep.
And do we think there's central count left for?
And once again, these type of incidents that happen in these closely watched races, similar to what we saw with the LA mayor's race, I mean, that dragged on for days after Election Day, and then the DSA-aligned candidate, Nitya Raman, somehow pulled into second place ahead of Spencer Pratt, and so now she will be in the election for the LA mayor's race against another hard left communist Democrat named Karen Bass. She's actually been associated with Fidel Castro, and so it's pretty much a closed argument that she is aligned with socialists. So once again, the socialists in America, they are suffering from a few setbacks, and not just in this race with Francesca Hong, but it looks like Abdul El-Sayed in Michigan, who's running for the Senate seat there. He did not poll very well when he closely beat out Haley Stevens, and So DSA candidates, although they have been taking over cities such as in New York City, and Seattle and Boston, they are aligned with the DSA's platform. I mean, hard left policies such as abolish the police and there's anti-ICE demonstrations and so forth. That is still a phenomenon that's going on in the United States, but the statewide races are proving to be a little bit trickier for the DSA-aligned candidates. And thank goodness for that, because divided powers, federalism, that may give us enough time to turn things around the way the founders drew it up. And so it's very difficult for even political parties like the Democratic Party, well-oiled machines with major institutions around the country backing them. Well, they are even finding it difficult to overcome a lot of the hurdles the founders put in place. They're buying us time to get our act together and to realize what socialism is all about and why it's a threat to America and how it is taking over the Democratic Party, and their intention is to take over the United States. But here we can report about it and give the American people an opportunity to mobilize and to oppose them. So weigh in with your thoughts about this story. We always appreciate hearing from you at the Becker Brief.